Hey, what's up, y'all, and welcome to Take One Reviews, where I'll be reviewing 3 movies: Babylon, X, and Pearl. And so, with all that said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Babylon is a 2022 film directed by Damien Chazelle, and it stars Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, and Diego Calva. And Babylon follows the intertwined stories of an inspiring actress and producer, as well as an already famous actor in the 1920s, through their rise and falls and everything in between. To start off, one of the things that you will notice from the film is the high energy it has in its storytelling. It goes for the hard R in its deliveries, visuals, language, and sexuality, as it has heavy cursing, nudity, and disgusting and violent things that happen, with it even starting off with all of that, and so forth throughout the rest of the film. And most of it works well with the tone presented on screen. It is humor heavy, and it does drive that aspect home really well. The sound, set, and costume design I thought was really great, and Robbie, Calva, and Pitt all have stellar performances, but Robbie is the one that stands out most out of the bunch, as she kills it whenever she's on screen, and she very much carries the whole thing on her back. And all of their stories are great and interesting enough to follow along on the journeys, through the highs and lows, rise and falls through one means or another. But the film's biggest fault is that it is too long. It should not have been 3 hours plus. It's a film that lengthwise overstayed its welcome with a lot that could have and definitely should have been cut out. And even as much time is given to the characters, there is no emotional punch when it needs to be. So the investment wasn't completely there. And I feel like this movie would have been better at like maybe a 2.5 hour at the most time length, because that really held it back from being what it could have been, which was a really, really great film. I mean, that and some other things, but the length, I'm going to stick with that one. But one of the other things that stood out to me was that the like button didn't get pressed already. And maybe, hopefully, as it keeps going on, that the like button will eventually get pressed. And maybe there will be at least one sub to accompany that. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but if it did happen, it would be extremely, extremely appreciated. So X is a horror film directed by Ti West, and it's starring Mia Goth, Jenna Ortega, Brittany Snow, Kid Cudi, and Martin Henderson. And this movie is about a group of amateur actors and filmmakers who set out to create an adult film on location at a rental cabin owned by an elderly couple. And everything is going good for the group until it's revealed the sinister plan that the old couple has in store for them, leaving them to fight for their lives. Okay, so let's start off with the good stuff. And I really was digging the 70s style look and how the film was shot. It really felt like a 70s flick. And there is good acting from the whole cast. I honestly don't hardly have any negatives against the performances. And this movie is very much X-rated as it can be without being a hardcore M16 or literally just being a flat out porno, because it's damn near on the verge of being hardcore with just a little bit more than softcore. But hey, I definitely dig it. The first act is a bit of a slow pace, with things taking a good amount of time to pick up speed. But it does pick up, and when it does, it's decent enough. Now, unfortunately, there are some poorly and stupidly made decisions that I just love, accompanied with certain kills being very convenient, to where if things didn't happen exactly the way it did, then it wouldn't work out at all. And along with that, the believability of the killers accomplishing the things that they accomplished and the way that they accomplished them were astronomically outside the realm of reality. And it took me outside the realm with it, as well as outside the film at that point. Also, there were no characters to root for, and the few that you think that you can root for turn out to be unlikable in the end. In fact, I felt more sympathy toward the killers and their motivation, but I'm not sure if that was the true intention. In conclusion, this is not the best movie. As a horror flick, it's more humorous, but not in the way that it's entertaining, but just completely unbelievable. But I believe that some people will get some enjoyment out of this. I just didn't. But I did enjoy that one person that did already press that like button. I just didn't understand why that person didn't subscribe already. Hopefully by the end of the third one, that person will probably subscribe as well as hit that notification bell. And so last but not least, Pearl, another film that's directed by Ti West and stars Mia Goth, in which I ended up finding out around the time that I actually saw this in theaters, was that it is a prequel to the movie I just reviewed, X. And this movie is about a farm girl that has big dreams about being a dancer in movies, and that would do anything to eliminate all obstacles in her way to achieve that dream. That honestly sounds very inspiring. I think that's what everybody should do. Maybe not the killing part, but don't stop it. Anyway, my thoughts on the movie. I mean, like I said before, it is a prequel to the movie X. And it's weird because the tone of this one is very different from the tone of X. And this movie, what I really liked about it is that it doesn't take itself too serious, which could probably be seen as both a positive and a negative. And there are plans to come out with a third movie coming out, I believe, this year. So I wonder what type of tone would that movie have. I love the 1918 aesthetic. It was great, even with the musical score choice going full-fledged with it. The acting is awesome, but mainly Goff as Pearl, she flat out delivers a stellar performance. And even if she wasn't the main focus and title character, I would feel that she still stole the scenes that she was in. And not to mention, her performance in the one-shot speech at the end was just incredible. Nicely written and phenomenally delivered. There's actually some good humor in the film, but I'm not sure if a lot of it was truly deliberate. It was mainly due to the actions and reactions and/or awkwardness to the scenes. The promotion for the film in connection to the movie X was very bad because the actual title is Pearl, an X origin story, but no one would know it unless you saw it somewhere because the trailer shows that it's just called Pearl. And I didn't even know that until I saw it on the ticket purchasing app that I got my ticket from. Despite what the trailers would show you, it's not an all-out slasher film. It's more of a character piece with slasher elements. So if you looked at the trailer for this movie and you were expecting that, you'll be sadly disappointed. Much like a lot of the audience members that I saw this movie with. A lot of them walked out disappointed, but I walked out really loving this film. Because this damn show was better than X. So I really hope that the third one is really good. But, I mean, we'll see. And so with that said, that wraps up this video of reviews. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. And if you are hearing to this point, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. Hit the notification bell for more videos like this. And I will catch you guys on the next one. So, peace out. Stay safe. And make more movies.